Hi guys, Mr. A here. Welcome to Storytime with Mr. A. I'm just sitting here relaxing with my puppers, little Leia and my best friend here, Buddy. And today's story is actually about friends. It's about friends that come in different shapes and sizes, big and small. And you know, friends can come in many different forms, right? They can be our animal friends, they can be our human friends. And today's story, The Snail and the Whale, is just about that. It's about a little friend and a big friend and the cool adventure that they go on. So we're going to go check out The Snail and the Whale. The Snail and the Whale by Julia Donaldson. Illustrations by Alex Scheffler. This is the tale of a tiny snail and a great big gray blue humpback whale. This is a rock as black as soot, and this is a snail with an itchy foot. The sea snail slithered all over the rock and gazed at the sea and the ships in the dock. And as she gazed, she sniffed inside. The sea is deep and the world is wide. How I long to sail, said the tiny snail. These are the other snails in the flock, who all stuck tight to the smooth black rock, and said to the snail with the itchy foot, "Be quiet, don't wiggle, sit still, stay put." But the tiny sea snail sniffled and sighed, then cried, "I've got it, I'll hitch a ride." This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail that looped and curled and said, "Ride wanted around the world." This is the whale who came one night when the tide was high and the stars were bright. A humpback whale, immensely long, who sang to a snail a wonderful song of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves. And this is the tale of the humpback whale. He held it out of the starlit sea and said to the snail, "Come with me." This is the sea, so wild and free, that carried the whale and the snail on his tail to towering icebergs and far-off lands, with fiery mountains and golden sands. These are the waves that arched and crashed, that foamed and frolicked and sprayed and splashed. The tiny snail on the tail of the whale. These are the caves beneath the waves, where colorful fish with feathery fins and sharks with hideous toothy grins swam past the whale and the snail on its tail. This is the sky so vast and high, sometimes sunny and blue and warm, sometimes filled with thunderstorm, with zigzag lightning flashing and frightening the tiny snail on the tail of the whale. And as she gazed at the sky, the sea, the land, the waves and the caves and the golden sand, she gazed and gazed, amazed at it all, and she said to the whale, "I don't feel so small." But then came the day the whale lost his way. These are the speedboats running a race, zigging and zooming all over the place, upsetting the whale with their ear-splitting roar, making them swim too close to shore. This is the tide slipping away, 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 away. And this is the whale lying beached in the bay. "Quick, off the sand, back to sea," cried the snail. "I can't move on land, I'm too big," moaned the whale. The snail felt helpless and terribly small. Then I've got it, she cried, and started to crawl. I must not fail, said the tiny snail. This is the bell on the school in the bay, ringing the children in from their play. This is the teacher, holding the chalk, telling the class, sit straight, don't talk. This is the board, as black as soot, and this is the snail with the itchy foot. A snail, a snail! A teacher turns pale. Look, said the children, it's leaving a trail. This is the trail of the tiny snail, a silvery trail saying, save the whale! These are the children running from school, fetching the fireman, digging a pool, squirting and spraying to keep the whale cool. This is the tide coming into the bay, and these are the villagers shouting hooray as the whale and the snail travel safely away. Back at the dock and the flock on the rock, who said, how time's flown and have you grown? And the whale and the snail told the wonderful tale of shimmering ice and coral caves and shooting stars and enormous waves, and of how the snail, so small and frail, with the looping, curling, silvery trail, saved the life of the humpback whale. Then the humpback whale held out his tail, and on crawled snail after snail after snail. And they sang to the sea as they all set sail on the tail of the gray blue humpback whale. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's story of Snail and the Whale, and that, you really kind of go and help out and try to have some new friends of your own, right? It's always good to help someone out, especially, days like today. Your neighbors, your cousins, your family, your mom, dad, friends. Find someone to help out and make a new friend, right? Until next time, this is Mr. A with Storytime with Mr. A.